Right. So tonight I'm going to be using 80's Rewind by First Line Shaves. This is a fresh release from them. Came with this fun little button. I bought the EDP, the beard butter. Beard butter is pretty awesome stuff. He does a really good job with that. And of course the splash. And these awesome bottles. I mean, the color scheme in these bottles is just so cool. I'm going to be using this AP Shave Co. Horse synthetic brush. So it's just a synthetic. It's a very soft knot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to like that or not. In the Spot Prince bowl, let's get going making a lather. And I am going to need more water right away. So my experience with First Line Shave soaps is good. I really like his scenting. But if I'm being honest with you, some of the soap bases that I had that I acquired in the past, the bases just don't lather anymore. They are older soaps. I know he's definitely changed his base since then, and I don't suspect that that's a problem here and now. But it was something I did have trouble with in the past. I never reached out to the company or anything like that, so I don't want to be unfair. They were soaps that I acquired used on buy-sell trade sites, so whatever kind of happens with that. So I can't even say it's the company's fault. It could have been the fault of wherever I got the soaps from or whatever. Not a big deal, but this stuff is definitely foaming up pretty well here. This brush is super well loaded right now, and this will take a lot of water. So, my next experience after this with First Line Shaves, after the kind of little letdown I had there with a couple of his bases, was Dark Necessities. It was a collaboration with Riley over at First Line Shaves and Joe from Black Mountain Shaving, and that base was a 3.1 base, which is the same base as this, and it was fantastic. It was the base was much improved, and it lathered hands down better than the other stuff ever did. So I could tell right off the bat with Dark Necessities that this was going to be good to go. And the same thing here. This soap is definitely good to go. Oh, look, I got a mosquito. I like that. Oh, there he is. He's in here now. Ah, there he is. So anyway, back to the soap here. I usually just like to kind of load the brush in the bowl. I don't really like to build the lather in the bowl. I like to build the lather on my face. So this brush is really well loaded. This soap is very creamy, and like I said, this brush is definitely a painter. There's your AP, by the way, on there, but this is the painter for sure. And I don't know, we'll see how that goes. I like the color. I think the color on the brush matched the colors in the bottle pretty well, so I kind of went with it. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a very soft brush. That brush is a painter for sure. But you can see the soap base really builds really well. Definitely takes plenty of water. Definitely very slick. This is a very hydrated lather, which is good for me. I haven't shaved in a few days, so I'm going to clean up the beard. It's going to be exactly what I want here, and it's only going to get better on the following passes. So in terms of performance, this 3.1 base is just good to go. So buy with confidence. The scent on this thing, what I've been doing, I'm using the soap as what I call an unasked for review lifestyle series. This is my third of those, third volume, I guess, in that series. The first was the Dark Necessities. The second was Aloha Smackdown from PAA, and the third being, for this other edition of First Line Shaves, 80's Rewind. Basically, I try to select a product that I can use across multiple platforms. So I can use it to shave, I can use the aftershave, I can use the EDP, and I can use the beard butter. And I'll use it exclusively for a week or two and kind of be able to give you a little bit more of a sense of, what that looks like over a longer period of time versus, just like one shave and my initial impressions of the scent. My initial impressions of the scent, so I've already used the beard butter for a couple days now and the EDP for a couple days before I shaved. I didn't love it at first. I did not love the EDP right out of the gate. It's got some scent note in it that I don't love. But when it kind of dries down and settles in on my skin, it does mellow out a lot, and I really do enjoy it after a couple of days use there. But it took me a little bit to get used to it. So it's not so bad. But here we go. I'm going to use this Shield Gem Razor. Gonna do a couple quick passes and move on with our lives here. We'll try to let the ASMR quality speak for itself. Like I said, I think it's been the better part of a week I haven't shaved in. I got a haircut earlier in the week, and time just hasn't allowed me to spend a little bit of time here. But yeah, I mean, that, not only does the razor perform really well, but we're not here for the razor, we're here for the soap and splash. I mean, it's definitely comfortable, definitely protective. Like I said, you can see it's just builds and builds. I mean, that brush just splays like, you can see it pulling my face. So that's, that is a really good lather right there. Well, not everybody may love something like this texture. Some people like it a little denser. Some people like a little more pillowy. I like it a little bit more wet and slick like this. For my face, it just performs better for me. Keeps me more protected. That brush is not something I would love either. Like I said, typically it's just too, doesn't have any backbone at all. I usually like a backbone. I'm more of a face latherer by trade, but I don't hate it. It's I ain't mad at it, that's for sure. The scent strength is definitely, on my tub in particular, it's not terribly high off the tub. I mean, it's there and it's fine. It's just not, blow your socks off strength. Like I said, that is off the tub, so there's no telling what the splash is going to be. And the EDP pretty much had lasting power for most of the day. I felt like the scent faded a little bit toward the end of the day. The last couple days, you know, my wife disagreed with that, but she hasn't been smelling it all day. So, like I said, I felt like on me, I felt like it faded a little bit, but she said it did not. So I'll have to take her word for it. It definitely stayed in the beard, in his beard butter. If you're a bearded gentleman like I am, it does a really good job with just a little bit of styling component to it. Kind of help tame the flyaways and stuff like that. And that holds, you know, pretty much most of the day as well. So good stuff there. Yeah, I don't like the way that feels. I'm going to go ahead and quit that. That might be the blade, might be getting a little dull. I'll go ahead and change the direction of that pass and not follow through against the grain, which I usually don't. Just feeling a little confident and thought twice about that. Across my neck, it's always very sensitive. There's always these little irritations in here. Almost no matter what I do. There's some stuff I can get away with that it doesn't cause that at all. But for the most part, it just is what it is. It goes away with a rinse and a little bit of splash. So I'm not super worried about it. That's just kind of how my face is. Alright, so we're going to make a little bit of noise here with a quick rinse of my face. And then we're going to go with that splash and check the strength there. Well, I guess in rinsing it off, I can perceive the smell a little more. I said maybe spending some time with it on me for the last couple days has made my opinion a little biased. Kind of clouded my judgment a little bit, maybe. I still stand by my theory of the still kind of stand by, like I was saying, my theory about kind of a lifestyle review. I think there's a lot of reviews out there that, you know, just kind of run a soap once and, you know, that's it. They kind of give you their impressions and that's the end of it. Oh, well, that might have been my problem. That thing just loosened up. That might have been why I didn't love the feel of that last pass. Almost there. There you go. It's never super perfect. I'm not really worried about perfection. But anyway, I stand by the lifestyle idea. I think it's a halfway decent idea. And something that I think adds some value to the shaving space. Ooh. Oh yeah. Got a little bit of burn there. Nice, nice. Especially, of course, over there. And that scent definitely hits a little bit different on the splash for sure. It's very different in the splash than it is in the other mediums. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something, I think it's like maybe some woods or something. There's something in there that's, you know, fairly deep, and it definitely reminds me of the 80s for sure. It's definitely a very familiar scent. It's a good scent. Like I said, it just was a direction that, you know, a lot of, kind of reminded me initially, it reminded me of something that would be, you know, kind of on the shelf at like Walmart or something that you'd buy, you know, for like a kid, and a last minute Christmas gift kind of thing, that you'd buy one of those packs that has like some soap and cologne and that sort of thing. But I also think that that might have been what he was driving for. It was definitely a Yves Saint Laurent Kairos. It's an homage to that scent, but I think that that was a scent that was very popular in the 80s for sure, and I think that it's, you know, kind of driven for a long time that kind of lower end, you know, kind of cologne market that you'd get when you were a teenager going to the roller skating rink or something on those lines. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm liking it so far. The lather is good. The shave is good. It is what it is, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and hope I'm adding some value to your life. Thanks, guys.